Hello and welcome to another episode of Beer Man's No Bull Beer Reviews. Today I have another beer from Revision Brewing Company out of Sparks, Nevada. This is actually a collaboration between Revision and Shoe Tree Brewing Company. I'm not sure where Shoe Tree is from. It doesn't say on here. But if you can see down here, it's just the style. It says Northeast style Northeast style hazy IPA. It is 7% ABV, and it says the hops used in this are Citra, Galaxy, Mosaic, and Amarillo. And it says 40 IBUs, which really doesn't mean anything, but I like to say it if it's on there. So let's crack this open and see what we got. I admittedly, so I had seen these cans locally, and I had no idea they were from Nevada. I thought they were from somewhere closer to here. And then the other one that the person who sent me this sent to me, I tried it, and it was actually really, really good. I was really pleasantly surprised. So needless to say, I have my hopes up a decent bit for this one. So this one is definitely a little more translucent than the other one was. It's still cloudy, but it's definitely. You can still see my thumb through it, so it's definitely not like hazy, like orange juice hazy. It's interesting because it actually almost has. It's definitely like a golden color, but it almost has like a darker golden color, but it almost has a green tint to it, which is possible from the hops. I have personally made some IPAs that the body was so light because I used a lot of dextrose, and I hopped it so much that it actually had like a green tint to it. So that's possible. That's why this is like that. But it also makes me think this is going to be a very light, thin beer because if you use a lot of dextrose, that's going to happen. So. And also, as you can see, it had a really small white head, but that went away pretty quickly. It smells really nice. I would say it's definitely on the citrus side more than any of those other three hops. It doesn't have too much of the Mosaic, like overripened pineapple. There is a little bit of like the sweatiness that Mosaic has. I wouldn't say that I'm really getting much Galaxy, but to me Galaxy could come off as a bunch of different things. I'm really definitely not getting any of the like the earthy Amarillo character, but it is more along the like peachy and orangey citrusy Citra character. So, I get more Amarillo in the flavor. It's definitely more earthy in the flavor than the aroma. But again, the reason I'm using earthy and not like dank is because it really isn't dank. It's specifically like earthy, like a forest aroma almost. There is a little bit of orangey character, some there's almost like a lemon limey thing going on, which is interesting. I'm not really sure where that's coming from. I will say though, this is very. It's pretty obvious by looking at it, but it's very, very light body. It's almost as if they said, how can we make like a decent strength IPA, which 7% is not that strong, but it's definitely not like, it's pretty strong for a beer that's this light. Excuse me. How can we make like a pretty strong IPA, but make it like the lightest possible beer, but still have a lot of hop flavor, and that's pretty much what this is. it's not like my favorite blend of hops, but it's still flavorful. It still tastes fresh. But the malt profile, other than there being like some residual sweetness, there's really like no malt flavor in this at all. There's no like bready character, or there's definitely not any like caramely notes. It's pretty much hop water with a little bit of alcohol burn in the throat. The bitterness, I would say, is pretty low, but it's enough to balance out the sweetness. It's not overly sweet either, but really the sweetness is the only thing that makes me think that there's like even malt in this, other than obviously the fermented booze, because there's really no like bready or grainy character to it at all. Yeah, that lemon lime comes forward the more I drink it, and it almost is coming off as like floral and a little perfumey. I'm guessing that's something from the Amarillo, but to me it almost reminds me of Centennial, like some notes that I get from Two Hearted. So on my scale of buy, drink, dump, I don't know what this costs because someone sent it to me, but I've seen their stuff in stores and it's generally like $15 to $17 a 4-pack, so it's in the standard range for that type of thing. Is this the best IPA I've had, or one of even the better ones I've had in a while? I'm gonna say no, but I think this has its place, and there would be a reason for me to buy this again. If I wanted like a good IPA for whatever reason, if I wanted something that was like really easy to drink, but at the same time didn't have time to have like a session and drink something that's like 4%. I know that scenario really wouldn't come up very often, but if I wanted something for that particular purpose, this would be a beer that I would reach for, because I don't think I would get tired of this very easily. I think I could drink a good bit of it. The flavor's not too in your face, but it's still pretty flavorful. But like I said, it's even though it's so light, it's definitely not a session beer because it's 7%. So if I wanted something in between those things, this would definitely work. So I'm gonna call this one a buy. I wish they said in the description that this is what they're going for, because that would impress me even more. But excuse me, the other one I had was definitely not like this. It was still very flavorful, but it definitely had more body, and it was more of what I would consider a traditional New England IPA. But maybe they're trying to differentiate their product, so I give them kudos for that. But I think that's all I got in this one. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think, and I look forward to doing the next one. Thanks.